things are too modern now to go back and bring back what was there. It wouldn't be the same. The same flavor wouldn't be there because the stores along the river all had access to people to enter the back of the store. Indians used to come over. There was docks back there where they could dock their boats, and they would go into like Poole's grocery store, which was a big store on the river. And Mr. Poole he talked Indian language. They made him an honorary Indian chief. The Native Americans did. They would come there and buy groceries and stuff. You can't recapture all that. It's gone. It's done. And nobody would allow people to put buildings on that river now, on the property there. I'm sure that would never happen.
Okay, so do you think was tourism bigger back then than it is now?
I don't know, really, to answer that truthfully. Yes, we had people, but it was harder to travel years back. But in the 70s, prior to the 70s, I would say tourism was pretty much the same because we had the Maples Hotel where people could stay, but we never had great places for people to come if they were on a vacation. They would go to Port Yorn to get a place to stay, or up at the St. Clair Inn in St. Clair. And Marine City did not have accommodations. They were the same as us. Now they do have. But we don't have any place for a person to stay overnight. Nothing, no motels. There used to be one down on the dike. If you go, where the Capri restaurant is?
Yes.
Well, next to that, you see that long L-shaped building. That was a motel at one time. I think it was called Holiday Inn or something. Not a Holiday Inn chain, but people by the name of Soboleski owned it. And then it went into a doctor's office, and now I don't know what they do. I think they just rent out a few rooms there. Same people don't own it anymore.
So, was Algonac always this populated? Was there more people back then than there are now?
No, I think there was more back then, but we are Algonac by itself. Clay has a bigger population. It's too bad we can't all be one. They'll probably kill me for saying that, but it's true. It's silly to have two identities with government situations about the same, only a few miles apart.
What do you know about the production of the boats for the war? Like when they had to stop making Chris Crafts?
Well, they went for World War II. We have a whole book on that. They made 10,000 landing barges that were
Can you
used.
show them the picture over there?
Yeah, there's a book, right? See by Chris
The
Craft.
big picture's right there in the model.
Yeah, well, let's go look at it.
Yeah, because that way.
I was going to do it afterwards, so it wouldn't interrupt.
Oh,
us.
I'm sorry.
But that's all right. Have you been in here before?
Nope, never.
Okay, so you missed something. These are the that's the models that they build at Chris Craft. And they shipped them. Chris Craft building looked like that, the office building. There's an airplane view of it. And then they would ship these overseas. They had a big production, plus they were honored by the government for the manufacture of the boats.
What were you saying? Was the economy different? Were there more shops and stores, and was there more like stuff on the waterfront and stuff like that?
There were different types of stores. It was a small town, so we had your little small town stores. I mean, there was Ben Franklin's, and you had your little grocery stores, your barber shops, but we don't have any of that now. So that's changed.
Did you notice a lot more people here less in the past few years than like back then? Was there an eruption in population at any time? Did you notice people leave?
A lot of people left, but I mean, we were a small town, so there wasn't very many people. But Algonac has grown up. We've gotten more people in.
Back then, people did all their shopping stuff in town. They hardly ever drove out of town.
It was the small, it was your hometown people. The people that you knew all the time, you saw all the time. And you don't really have that now. Now it's all, what do they call those? Chain stores, all your malls.
Yeah.
And we didn't really have that. Our great big store was Kmart.
What were the biggest changes you've noticed over the years? Like, what was the biggest thing to you that you've thought like really changed where you live now?
The biggest change was when they went through and redid the town. when they put in the boardwalk and they took down all the stores and things that were in there. That was a big change.
What's